you
Is
haven't
this
shared the
good?
link yet, though.
Yeah, is this good like this?
Hey, you like girls? Well, keep a girl's heart. It's through your stomach.
What? I didn't hear that.
Hey, Max, I'm gonna send you the.
The link.
You know what? Just log into your Facebook. But it's gonna be like incognito. So. But the link is copied already.
Just to see if I remember my password.
Oh, then I can just log in and like send or whatever.
No, I think I remember it. Maybe.
We have to do what's up?
And I was wrong.
Welcome to our YouTube channel.
Please like and subscribe. Hit that
Hit that like button.
Don't forget to use that notification bell to see the next time
The
we.
notification. Gang.
Oh my god, I forgot the password. Oh, that's a problem.
You want me to log in?
Yeah. It's dead. I don't even know the password for that account.
What if you just?
Same
Oh my gosh. Wait, it's not the remembered one, right? It's not the remembered one.
No. That's my old password, and then I changed it.
Hello.
But actually, you can't be here while we couldn't just go back.
We see a cat just guarding.
You should be like special guest today. Is that from the BT? Or from the
No.
bathroom?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who?
Do you guys still have one?
I told Kevin Steele
Miller.
for social.
No, is it? No, it was from Wall. No, yeah, it was from Wall this time.
Mine is from.
What's the honors door?
Oh,
Okay.
right.
Yeah. Honors is right there.
I have to copy and paste this. Oh.
Okay, I need to pull up this recipe.
I was my honors. So I wouldn't know.
Did you need anything else besides name? For the sign-in sheet? Anything else?
Hi, Ash. No, you can't come in here.
Ligma.
I put you made.
He is waiting for people to come.
Vincent, I see you in the video right now. It's pretty funny. No, don't do that. Oh, it lagged. No, don't do that. Oh, it lagged. Oh, it lagged again.
So who's gonna do what?
You could direct us.
I mean, we could like send a link of the recipe we're using, and people could like
Follow along.
follow along. And like,
They can make it at home.
Yeah. Make along with us.
Oh my god, if we sent out the ingredients list beforehand, you can make it along with us.
Alright, do you have the link? Where'd you send the link?
Which one?
For the YouTube
Can
one?
you just mute it then? Everyone's gonna hear.
likes to play with, but it doesn't make any sound.
Which one?
The red one. Oh, might be like I just saw her replacement. Sorry, said he was gonna replace it.
Oh,
What happened?
make a 5-course meal.
What's that noise?
Yo. What? It's not me.
Oh, it's me.
That's her. Yo, Max is a 5-course meal.
Like, go interrupt your chat. Twitch chat.
It's okay.
Are we starting now? We can wait for more people.
Max is the face of this entire.
Yeah, Max is the
What the-
Max is
What?
Did you post
Yeah, I
that?
put some other people.
Max.
Oh boy.
How long are you gonna wait?
I don't know. I mean, it only takes, it's up to an hour of cooking, but you can cut it whenever you want, like early. People are there right now. 8.
I wonder who left. Kim.
I left.
Oh, just kidding, Kim.
You know why I left? Lost the frequencies.
Just kidding, Kim. Just kidding. Don't yell at me.
Wait, what did I say?
So, oh wow, there's 10 people now.
It was a mistake.
Wait, I can send the link to the thing.
I like that sound.
Where did I check? Why is it so loud?
What?
Ooh.
What in there? Is it cooking?
Someone asked all this. Will it teach me something?
Will you look?
Will it teach me something?
Who asked?
Oh, how big.
Oh my god, it's Max. Okay, we will start in 3 minutes. Should we start 8:15 or 8:10?
Whatever you choose.
Wait for me to interrupt. So, should we start at 8:15 or 8:30?
8:30.
8:10.
We could start at 8:10. Yes.
Okay. You can just interact with chat right now. Send me.
All right. Okay, I'll stop. I'll do it. Yo, where are the memes?
Oh, she's Cam snapped me. Yikes, bro.
We're fucked, dude.
Yikes, bro. What was that?
Oh.
Time to start.
Hello. Welcome to
Everybody
our
get
channel.
into the
Okay.
camera.
Hello guys.
Hi.
Hi.
We're we did the laughing line. Here to teach you how to cook some meat sauce for your pasta. You know, you can just use some really good old dry pasta. You know, got here some elbows, some dry pasta here. If you want to be nice, you know, just like a normal college student, can't afford to make your own pasta, so dry pasta is the way to go. Of course, you can always use the classic canned sauce, but you know, that's kind of boring, dude. You know, try to spicing up your life a little today. You're making your own meat sauce. Let's get it.
Let's get it.
Okay. So in chat,
This is the Max show.
no. Okay. In chat, there is there's a link. I'll send it again to the recipe that we're going to be using, and everything you can get is you can get like at a local store, except for like I guess the spices, and that's the great thing of having a spice rack like this. I would not recommend this for the casual cooker. It's a lot, but you know, if you're blessed with it, you should use all of those spices. Let's see. So the first thing we're gonna do is gonna be cutting up the onions, because you need to dice the onions to cook on the pan. And yeah, make sure you wash all your vegetables, because this is, you know, gotta do it. And also, here's a knife. Would really recommend having a pretty nice knife. You know, you're gonna be using it when you're cooking, and if you have a really dull knife, you know, it's gonna suck. So make sure you hold it like this, and you grip it, because if you hold it like this, it's really, you don't have very good control over it, and it's really like messy. But when you hold it like this, you have a lot better control of the knife blade, and you don't cut yourself as easily. And also make sure that you have your knuckles in front of the blade at all times, so that you don't cut your fingers off, because you don't want to be bleeding all over your food. So yeah, you guys like to cut the onion in half and dice it?
It should be easier to do this, honestly. How about you do this?
I can't do anything.
Do you have a specific way you want to do this?
Just dice it up.
So how fine do you want to do this?
Not too fine, because still want some time to do
You can dice it. I want to see you dice it.
it. Me?
No.
Oh,
Tell me.
yeah.
I cannot.
No, just do one. Just do one.
I literally cannot.
Ooh. So
Isn't I don't even.
okay, I don't know if there's any like really good way of doing it. I've seen
Yeah.
people like wear goggles, and I don't know if you want to be wearing goggles while cooking. The way I do it is that I don't cry. I'm kidding. For me, I don't cut off the ends of the onions for the most part. I try to keep most of them on,
Oh.
and then while I'm cutting, I try to keep my face away from like the juices that might spray up. So I just like keep my distance while cutting. It might help, it might not help. but it's something that you kind of have to be okay with while you're cutting onions because it's gonna happen. And yeah, so some other things we have to prep are garlic. So here's some garlic. You know, get them at any store, like. And then basically you also have to like finely chop these, but you can do that like while you're letting the other things cook. Yeah, let's talk about the other stuff. So here we have a mix of Italian sausage and some ground beef that we're gonna be using.
Where are the bowls?
Bowls are up here.
Oh,
You want a mixing bowl or?
no, just to hold them.
Leave the mixing bowl on that side. And so you have to first brown all this beef because you want some color on your beef before you put it inside of like all the tomato that you're gonna be having for the tomato sauce. And just nice to brown them up, break up the pieces a bit so it's a finer like amount. And no, just meat sauce. You know, you don't want like those huge chunks. It's not like a steak with tomato sauce. So yeah, we're gonna be browning some ground beef and some Italian sausage on the pan.
You can move the camera in front. No? What?
It's a little too messy. See what the chat has to ask about all this.
Let's see what the cat has to say. I don't know. Cry, leave the root. What a stud. And somebody cuff Max. Has a man who doesn't cry.
Aaron.
And then Darian's like Mac plus.
Yo, dude, cuff this man, dude.
Cuff this.
What a Chad. Yo, you hungry? This man's got you.
Oh yeah. Also, this is just a basic meat sauce.
Oh, God.
You don't always have to add all these ingredients. You know, you could always add mushrooms or add like shredded up carrots if you really want to. So it's really up to you based off the main recipe what you can do. But the main recipe is really nice to just like get an idea of what you need to do, and then from there you can always like improvise and. Wow.
I learned this from my mom. It works. It works.
You're right. You're right. That's exactly how I would do it. No, it works. It works. You're right.
It works.
No, just keep on going.
I'm just
I just wasn't ready for that.
okay. I'm just doing it. It works. It's efficient.
I've never seen anyone do that before.
Alright, I want to see how you do it.
Okay. Okay. So for me, I don't whack like that. I like put a little pressure like this, and then use the palm of your
Oh,
hand.
that's what I do
And
too.
then you go like that, and you crush it, and then you should be able to like peel off the skin. Like that. If you also want to, you can like also hit with your palm of your hand. But yeah.
Man, got roasted for no reason.
Hey, I was just surprised. I didn't really,
Like, cause I'm used to like those big ass big Chinese those knives.
you know, it's funny you mentioned that because we also have one of those. If you want to use that,
Hell. I'm sorry, no,
are you sure?
Yeah.
It's right here, bro.
No. I'm good. Whoa.
This is called a meat cleaver.
No, that's different.
A lot of Asian people use this knife. It's great. It is pretty great. I personally don't use it that much, but if you if this is what you have at home, you know, just you can use it too. Wait,
Thank you.
How many garlics do we need?
We need 4 cloves of garlic.
4 cloves. Okay, these are kind of. Okay. So for garlic, you kind of just like slice it up, and then eventually it gets like fine enough to start like dicing.
Ooh, look at that. Look at that Technique. Ooh. Whoa, such speed, much wow.
And then when you're like trying to get off the extra garlic, never like go upwards and never like up the blade. Always like try to go away from the blade when you're like pushing stuff off. Otherwise you'll start cutting yourself and then your garlic's gonna turn red. So you know, you don't want that to happen.
Your garlic's gonna turn red.
That's how my garlic is.
Oh man. So you don't need to make it super fine or anything for this because the heat from the cooking will actually dissolve it quite a bit. So you know, just like a fine chop would be okay if you can see that. Yeah. Transfer this.
Someone cut our big.
Yeah, someone take our bag away from us.
Okay. Okay, so the pan's hot enough. You can add the meat in it.
All of it?
Yeah, you can just do all of that one first.
Should I move this?
Just like break it apart.
Is it fully charged?
You can move it if you want.
Should I unplug the charger?
Yeah, you can unplug it.
But it's 29%. Alright.
Yeah, don't forget to turn on your fan. You don't want your top to turn to smoke. So, yeah, we're just breaking up the ground beef. Once it's brown, you can just put it to a new container and then just keep it for after everything else is brown. Yeah, the question about salting the beef, you don't have to salt any of the things beforehand because it's all going to be inside of a tomato sauce. So basically, you can start seasoning after the tomato sauce because the beef is going to get a lot of the flavor from the sauce. So you don't want to over salt your whole sauce in the beginning. You can always remove if you can't remove salt, you can always add more salt. So if you feel like there's not enough salt in your dish, you can always add more.
Oh no, what a nice arm.
You like the one?
Yeah.
It's brown all the way now. Nope, not all the way. Close enough.
I don't do like all the way, but like just transfer to a bowl, and then
This is not gonna work.
you just like
Vincent,
pour
you want to do it?
just pour it in the bowl, and then use brown sauce.
You can tell.
Yeah.
Do you want the juices or no?
It's like that. You can keep it if you want. Some people drain it, but you don't have to always drain it.
What about the flavoring?
Exactly. So if you're really health conscious and you care about your fat intake, I would suggest draining it. But if you know you're just kind of live your life, you know,
If you're Chad like Max, you eat that fat.
Okay, this one too.
Oh, this one. Salted. If you want to bring it part of it.
Yeah. Okay, so right now, Vincent is just browning the Italian sausage, and since sausage is pork, you actually have to cook this more thoroughly than the beef, even though during the sauce it will be cooked throughout. But it's just nice to have a little peace of mind knowing that your pork is properly cooked throughout, and you're not going to die of raw beef or raw pork. And then on the side, while he's doing this, I actually have all the other spices that we're going to be adding, and you don't have any of these spices, it's okay to like omit like the dried basil or any of the other like even the bay leaf you can omit if you really don't have that. You can just add Italian seasoning and that'll just be like a good thing to add to it. And yeah, I mean all these seasonings are just optional. They really help for the flavor, but you know if you don't have these right on hand, I wouldn't suggest buying like a huge container of like spices just for this one dish. If you're just like trying to have like things to have in your cupboard of different spices, I'd really recommend Italian seasoning and a few bay leaves because a lot of dishes do use them, and you can just keep on like using more. And if you ever run out, you can just buy more. So yeah, seasoning. I guess we can talk about some cookware. I would really suggest if you're a college student and don't want to spend a lot of money, I would just suggest a really nice pot that you can use for like for cooking, to boil pasta, to make any type of like stew type of thing during the like afternoon. Actually, I can. Okay. So yeah, just some pots would be really useful for like cooking because you're gonna be using them a lot throughout. Like if you are gonna be cooking at home, and I think a pot is really useful and something I would really suggest having. Another thing is a really good pan. It doesn't have to be like a super expensive one or anything. Like it doesn't have to be those like super fancy copper ones. You know, you can just have a really simple just pan, non-stick pan. You know, you can just cook your meat on, or just cook eggs or like stir fried stuff on. and some mixing bowls to like store the things that you do cook, and they need to like sit on the side while you like brown other things is also really useful. Other things you should have. I really suggest that a knife first of all. A cutting board, you don't have to like have a really nice like wooden cutting board. You just have like a plastic one that you buy off of like IKEA, and some glove or some mittens when you have something really hot to hold. I would really suggest that because you don't want to go like burning yourself when you try to like reach something into the oven. And yeah, let me think what else you would need. Oh, you always have to have salt and pepper. You can just always buy like the already ground black pepper, but you can always buy like a pepper shaker, like or a ground black pepper grinder here, and you just add peppercorns that you can buy at like a store, or you can order online, and then you can just like grind it, and then it'll just be fresh ground pepper every time you cook food, instead of like having that pre-ground pepper that it's like a certain fineness.
So we're currently browning the onions.
Yeah, so they just finished with the Italian sausage, so now they're going on to the onions. And the onions need to get to the point where they're kind of translucent. It might take a little longer than you would expect, but don't worry about that. You know, just take as much time as you need. Ooh, life hack. This is to all those people who are really lazy. I really suggest having a very minimal amount of dishware, so you have to wash them whenever you want to eat again. Because if you just like have a lot of this like plates and bowls, you just like stack them up a lot in your dishwasher or in your like sink, or even a dishwasher if you use that. So basically, if you have less dishes, you're like forced to like clean them more often, and you're like forced to like be less lazy, basically. So quick life hack for all those lazy people out there.
It's getting there. No, Kelly did it. Turn.
So another life hack, if you're too lazy to clean the stove, you can also put foil down on here like Max has done. So instead of cleaning it, you just have to replace it with a new one.
I can do it.
So we're adding back all the meats that we've cooked, and we're also adding the garlic. And we're just gonna like cook it until the garlic is fragrant, and then after we do that, we can start adding the tomato sauce and all the other tomato things that we need for this meat sauce. Just something real quick is that make sure to like clean the tops of the cans, because there can be like something that's been on there, because it does sit out for a long time. So just make sure you like rinse it real quick and just like wipe it off before you use it. And yeah. Okay, so with the seasoning that I already measured beforehand, I just put it straight in. And also start putting all the tomato sauces. We have a 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes. I think it's a 15 ounce of tomato sauce. Then 8 ounces of, oh, this is tomato sauce again. Okay. Yeah. So just make sure you stir it completely to make sure that everything's mixed together. And then here is like the worst part is that you have to wait for this to cook off. So just put it at like a simmer, so like a medium low heat, and you just let it simmer for like the next 30 minutes. And yeah, for the time being, you hear, yeah, so you can boil pasta now, you can boil it later, you know, you could keep this sauce if it's in the freezer for a while also. You can also put it in the fridge if you have like leftovers. And then during this time, you can also like start cleaning up the dishes that you've had over the time, you know. So when I boil pasta, I personally actually don't use oil because if you're using a more creamier sauce like an Alfredo sauce, the oil actually makes the pasta, like the sauce, not stick to the noodles as well. So
Wow, I
I
didn't know
personally
that.
don't do that. But you know, if you like grew up that way or you like feel like it's something you want to do, you can always do it. Like I'm not gonna stop you from doing it. But it's just a personal preference for me to like not add oil while I'm boiling pasta. But I do salt it really generously. Like it basically tastes like seawater by the time I'm done like salting it. And yeah, that's the main part. Okay, so we're gonna move it to our table. Okay, so I guess this is the webinar portion of it. I'm just gonna talk about some quick things about meal prepping or just like cooking while you're a college student. You save a ton of money like making your own food versus like going out and eating out all the time. For like this meal itself, it was just for all the stuff that you already saw is $16, and that's like when things aren't really cheap or like it's just like at the like current prices. But if you're a college student, you always like look out for sales and look out for like certain things that are on sale during that week, and then those are things that you buy. But it's just that for this dish right now, we just like bought the things at normal prices, and it came out to be $16. So if you just imagine that $16 turns out to be around 16 servings of meat sauce. And for pasta's like super cheap. It's like under $1 usually, and you boil it, and it's like it feeds you for like a whole week. So in total, it's like $17, and that's like 16 servings. It's like insane. And like if you go out to eat, it's like $16 for one meal. So you know those are pretty big differences in prices, you know. And like, you know, if you go to KBBQ, like sure you can't do KBBQ at your apartment, but it's like imagine like the prices, like KBBQ $26, you know, pasta at home $1 per meal, you know. You just pick whatever you want to spend your money on. But you know, it's like it's really up to you how much you want to spend on cooking, because if you want to put that time in and cook your own food, you'll save a lot of money on that end. But if you like don't feel like you can like you don't want to spend time cooking, then of course you could just like eat out all the time and you won't be saving a lot of money, if any money at all. But if it's just like more easier for you to like eat out all the time, I guess you can. But I really would suggest cooking some meals occasionally throughout the week so that you get into the habit of cooking meals, so that later in life, when you're have a job and you can't afford to just like eat out all the time, you have like a way to like cook for yourself and like feed yourself basically. Because cereal, milk tea, and snacks aren't really the way to like really feed yourself. You also need like other things to put in your body. So this is like one of the really easy ways to like add a lot of good ingredients and just like really feed your body. And you can always like cook some vegetables on the side if you really want. And it's just like it's a quick meal. Like right now, you don't even have to be near the stove. Like you just clean your dishes and then you just wait and just like stir occasionally. So you can like just like do stuff during this time. Like maybe you want to like clean up a little, you can do that during that time. And it's just like it's not as complicated as a lot of people think it is, because a lot of people are like, oh my god, it's cooking, like how am I supposed to do this, like how do I get started, how do I know if I'm not going to burn things, oh no, I like burn my ramen all the time. Like it's just like you have to put your foot through the door and just like be able to like make mistakes and be able to like do things and be able to like understand that everyone started at somewhere. Like nobody's like an amazing Michelin star chef when they go into the kitchen. People like gain those skills by like practicing it all the time. So so it's just like
Anyone can cook.
for like cooking, it's just like a skill that you develop over time. And like once you like get into like the like rhythm of cooking, you can start trying new recipes. You can try going outside of your comfort zone. Maybe you like really want to make like this awesome dessert, but it's like really difficult. Like you just gotta go for it and see what happens. If you fail, it's okay. You just try it again another time. It's not like the end of the world if you like mess up one recipe or multiple recipes. Just keep on trying until you like do really like you're able to do it. So yeah, it's just like something you can do. It's just a cool skill you can use, and it's like definitely very helpful in the future. So Aaron's questions: high quality egg and spam sandwich. It's just eggs, spam, and sandwich. You just buy some bread. Like you don't have to be real fancy. You just buy like white bread. You can always just like toast it if you want on the pan. Sometimes some people have toasters that you can put like your bread in. That's really useful. For the eggs and spam, it just like comes in a can. It's really really salty, so I would suggest not eating too much of it. But if you're like just want something to eat real quick, you can always like cut up the spam, put it on the pan for a bit, nice and crispy, and put on your sandwich, and then put eggs, like a fried egg on top. It's really simple. Oh, it's the one that's there. Otherwise, you can find another one.
So do you want to use elbows or do you use?
Use the shells or something. But I don't think that whole thing can fit inside there.
We should have. We do have.
Yeah, so we're actually going to be using shells this time around with the pasta. Sadly, my pot is kind of small to boil the pasta, so I can't cook all of it at one time. But usually you're not eating for 16 servings in one sitting, so it's not a big deal. What? Oh, they have some questions from the crowd. Vincent, what do you cook at home?
Depends on what I'm feeling at the time.
Okay.
Honestly, I think I cook a lot of salmon for meal prep because if we go to Costco, you buy like that.
Right.
The big like salmon tray.
Right.
Yeah, mapo tofu, dude.
Oh yeah, those are salmon's a really easy one.
Yeah.
Really easy one. Really good in good fats. Really protein heavy, and it's like something you can just put in the oven sometimes and just like leave it and just like take it out once it's done. Really good for meal prepping. Something that I guess is a worry is that sometimes when you meal prep and you eat the same thing for like a week straight, sometimes you get sick of it. I just suggest like mixing it up every week. Like you don't always cook the same thing every week. Like try to add something different. Maybe for like like a snack, or for lunchtime you have like a different meal. So just like vary it up so that you don't get bored of eating the same thing over and over again.
What do I do with the salmon? Oh, honestly, I don't do crazy stuff like maybe Max does with his spice rack down here. But I usually just use like a little bit of garlic powder, maybe some black pepper, and forget the last spice, but just a little spice on there, and then stick in the oven.
But yeah, so if you want to get started in like cooking, I would suggest like some tasty videos aren't really good for like cooking because like some of them are really complicated. But if you go like to like those one pot dinners or stuff like that, it's a lot easier and it's really simple to make those things for the most part. So if you really want to like get your foot in the door, I would suggest like those one pot dinners from Tasty. If you don't want to do that, you can always go to like allrecipes.com, or you can go to like just like search up something you really want to make, and then I'm sure there's a recipe out there, and just like go make a shopping list, go to the local grocery store, buy all the things you need, and then come back and just like start making it.
Salt and pepper.
Well, surprise, surprise, but salt disintegrates, so it's probably inside your salmon, if anything. I don't think someone like came up and licked all the salt off your salmon. It's very unlikely, but housemates are housemates. They could do it if they want. But yeah.
Yeah, man, Ryan likes licking salt.
But yeah, let's see what else there is to talk about. Do you guys have any questions about cooking or us three? No, we're all here. Hi, Valerie. What can you do? Okay, so chicken thigh is pretty versatile, but you can always make it super simple. You can always bake your chicken thighs if you want. You can pan sear your chicken thighs, or you can even make them into katsu basically. So you debone it, and then you add spices that you want, salt, pepper, and then you have panko breading, flour, and egg, I believe, and then you put all those things together. You get a pan to pan fry, and you add a lot of oil, and you can just like cook it straight on there. And then once it's golden brown on one side, you flip it over, and then you cook it again, or you cook it until it's brown on the other side. And then you can always have a meat temp to check if it's hot enough on the inside, because you don't want your chicken to be like raw on the inside, because that's like the worst thing you can have is to kill yourself from eating raw chicken.
Salmonella.
Yeah, salmonella. So that's another thing I would really suggest is a meat temp. It's not necessary, but just to be on the safe side, it's really nice to just like be able to temp meat and just make sure that you're not potentially eating raw food. And yeah. Are you gonna be able to taste test? Well, if you show up at FC 96 when we're done, I guess you can try some food. We might have enough food for like 16 people, so first come, first serve. Well, that's too bad because it doesn't taste like either of those things. You're literally on your way. Wow, someone's gonna go through that door right now. Who is it?
It's Smash God. Alex Lee.
Oh wow!
Wow.
Surprise! It is my roommate. So this is the guy in the house that cooks a lot more than all of us. He likes to really venture out, try those different ingredients.
Yes. Oh.
But yeah, just try to be adventurous, because like sometimes you're like really craving something and you don't want to spend that money outside. You're like, hey, I'm really craving rice porridge, and you probably have rice at home. You probably have water. You can make it at home. It's like super simple. So yeah, it's just like just do what you want to do with cooking. You could be like Carrie, and she like invents new new recipes. Like she just like thinks about something and then she just goes for it. So she's an inspiration because she really makes out some really really out there recipes, and like sometimes it works. So just do it. Oh, for the rice, if you have a rice cooker, it makes it like 100 times easier. So basically, you just like have your like container of like for the rice cooker, and then you like put in how many cups you have, and make sure you remember how many cups of rice you add, and then you put it in, like you rinse the rice and you like drain it and then rinse it until it's like you feel like it's rinsed enough, and then you just add. You just look on the side of like your container, and it should say like how many, like the water level of how many cups of rice that you added. Hey, you know, I'm a college student. I just want to like press that button and walk away. So
yeah, we're lazy.
yeah, you know, Chinese people have rice. You know what? I don't care, dude. It's so much easier. And so sous vide steak. Me and Alex actually have
Yeah.
a sous vide machine, which is we got lucky and we got it for $17. It's a lot more expensive than that usually, but yeah, it's just something extra. Like you don't really need to sous vide a steak. Like cooking it on the pan is completely fine. If you have a cast iron pan, that's like amazing because cast irons are really really good for searing the steak and having that really good crust that you want on top of the steak. The only problem with like a cast iron is that you have to like, maintain it. You have to like make sure that you clean it properly. You like season it once in a while to make sure that it's still a non-stick pan. Otherwise, your meat's gonna stick to it, and that's really nasty. And you can also it can also start to rust. So those are like some things that you shouldn't or you should worry about if you have a cast iron. But I feel like a cast iron is like one of those super super versatile things because since it's all metal, you can also put it in the oven. You can make a lot of things with it, and it's just like a really good pan to have if you don't want a non-stick pan. That is true, Maggie. Yeah, so you can always like look at coupons from the Safeway if there's one near you ahead of time and make a list of like what the things you want. And it's like, yeah, it's just an awesome way to save money. Oh, so we actually got that sous vide machine for $17 because Carrie like found this advertisement for it where like if you have like more than 3 people join in to like buy it at the same time, it's like kind of like purchasing it in bulk, but basically there's a reduced price if more than one person bought it at one time. So we just joined in with her, and the total ended up being around $17 for me and Alex. That is true too. That's what Alex does for his groceries. He uses that special card, and it basically gives you like a monthly amount of money that you could spend on groceries. It's really useful. If you do qualify for it, I would highly suggest like applying for it and getting it because you can save a ton of money, and it makes you less worried about spending like money to cook your own food. I think. Do you guys have any other questions? Anything you want to talk about? I am here with my littles.
It's only half, right?
Mm-hmm. How to cook things faster? Sometimes you can't rush food, you know. Yeah, you know, they take time. Like for baking, like you can't just like force cookies to rise faster or like to cook throughout faster. If you go like this is another thing for cooking is like you can't put too much heat. Like some things are really specific on how much like heat you put to it. Like cookies, you can't like blast the oven and put cookies and hopefully it doesn't get burnt by the time it's cooked. Baking's a lot more technical than like cooking on the pan. A lot of things that you cook as a college student won't like have such a tight window. Like maybe if you're feeling really fancy, you'll like pan sear scallops, but most likely you won't be doing that. If you want to like make it even easier for yourself, you can always like buy those pre-cooked meals. You won't be saving that much money if you do that, but you know, if you want to do it fast, you can do that. Can I see? I mean, I'm not against MSG.
MSG is just salt.
Yeah, it's just a flavoring. You know, if you wanted to use it, you can use it. Some people claim to have really bad reactions to it, and if you can handle it, then I would suggest using it if you want to. Like, there's nothing wrong. I don't know if you guys met my cat yet. Her name's Ash. She's just chilling here. Okay, she's camera shy. Where'd she go? When am I opening a restaurant? Oh, that's funny you ask, because I think we have a grand opening, right, Alex? What was it? FC 96? Opening next month, right? Oh, something like that? Okay, so, you know, there you go. There you heard it first here. FC 96.
Really?
Guess we have a special guest appearance. Wow. Is that the past AVP and her little? Wow, it's a party in here. But yeah. It's just like that's basically it. The pasta sauce should be done in a few more minutes. The pasta you can cook now because it's gonna take around like 11 to 12, 13 minutes. Like you just check the box of how much time it does take, and you just follow the directions, and then like taste it to make sure it's not raw or like still hard, and then drain out the pasta water, and then just mix your sauce to it, and it's all good. Let me think. What other things you should have? Let me bring you around to my kitchen. Okay, would really suggest one of these, the paper towels. Don't be like, I don't know, insanitary and like use something else that won't work. I don't know what else you guys need. These are not necessary, but you know, tongs are super, super useful. You know, you don't want to burn yourself. Add a little space between you and the hot pan. For baking, sieves are super useful because sometimes you need to like sift out some flour so it's not clumpy. I would suggest one of these if you're making a lot of stews and soups. It's just really useful to have a really big handle or big spoon thing, ladle to pick up the food. This is a metal, I guess it's like
Colander.
Yes, that thing. To drain out your pasta. I also use it to clean my fruits, like grapes. I think what else? Ooh, these are pretty important if you're gonna be having cans in your apartment. Yeah, just a nice old-fashioned can opener. This one also comes with bottle opener, but you know you don't need that on this thing. This is my stove top. I try to clean my stove top at least like whenever I can after I cook because sometimes it's splattering and you don't want that to happen all the time. It gets really nasty if you don't clean it up. There's a kettle. Would suggest having a kettle. It's really useful to just have something to really. It's really easy and quick to boil some water. Yeah. If you're feeling really extra, you can have one of these really nice KitchenAid mixing bowls. It's really expensive. I would really not suggest it if you're a college student. You can just get one of these hand mechanical, like electric mixer, which is a lot cheaper and will do the job just as well. You don't have to worry about that.
That's cool. Food processor.
Oh yeah, you can also have like a processor, like a food processor. It's really helpful if you need to like dice things up or like just like pulse it, because a lot of things that you're making into like sauces need to be pulsed or like blitzed, and that's really useful to do. I would suggest having some frozen vegetables in your freezer. It's really easy to use the frozen vegetables like corn or peas and anything you're cooking. Like you want fried rice and just want to add like a little vegetable into it, just like defrost the vegetables, put them in, and just becomes like a little more healthy. Just add a little more veggies in it. Ooh, so about the garlic, my mom personally uses a glove to like cut her garlic so that her hands don't smell. I don't really care about the smell. I just wash my hands and eventually they come out. But yeah, it's just like personal. It's like something you do if you really care about the smell of the garlic getting on your hands. Just use a glove. You can buy in Costco like huge, like really big packs of it and share with some people, or split the price of it and just like have gloves in your compartment like we do. You don't always have to. You can like go to like an Asian mart and they usually have like plastic ones. Let me show you. So these are some disposable plastic gloves. A lot of Asian moms would have this, and it's just like it doesn't really fit to your hand. It's like really loose, but it does keep the like smells and stuff out of your hands. So if you want to use that, a lot of people use this for like working with raw meat because they don't want the raw meat to get on their hands. This is something I use. I just got it at Costco. It's basically like it's just a food glove basically. It's a lot tighter on your skin, so I don't feel like. Cause I feel like when I use this, I have a higher chance of like cutting myself because it's like slippery, and it's a lot bigger than my hand. Versus like this, it's really close to my hand. It's like basically using my hand, so it's less likely to cut yourself using this. But it's completely up to your preference. Yeah. How to eat healthier? How to eat healthier? I think for me, it's just like understanding what you put in your body, because you won't be like. Imagine like you're just like cooking food for yourself and you like see like trash, like say like it's just like you're just eating straight fat from like a can or something. Like it's super unhealthy, and you know that whatever you eat is like making you feel like shit. And I would not suggest eating that if like it doesn't make you feel good after eating it. So like eating healthier, I feel like is more like knowing what you're putting in your body and knowing like on like it doesn't be like super healthy. Like you don't have to like go like antioxidants and like only eat kale and like eat blueberries and all those kind of things. You can just like be more conscious about what you're eating and don't overdo it all the time. And just like it's more like a balance of what you do to like what you consume and not overdoing it. You know, a little pork fat's not going to kill you. It's like enjoy you what you eat, basically.
I think adding onto it, it depends on what you feel your body needs. Say if you're like working out every day, you probably need a lot more calories in general. So, for example, if I'm working out, right, I try to cut out try to cut out carbs because I want to lose weight and gain muscle. So I eat a little bit more protein, more veggies, fresh veggies. I try not to get like frozen, like any frozen, like fruits or veggies because I feel like they lose a lot of nutrition because they're frozen. So I feel like buying fresh ingredients, even though it may take time off your life, you should probably try doing that. I mean, I don't cut out fat out of like my diet. I mean, I still enjoy like say chicken thighs. Like I enjoy a little bit of fat on them, but you don't have to be super, with a lack of better words, anal about following like these super dietary trends.
Yep. I personally, I actually tried keto out myself. It's good and bad. I feel like at the time I felt like since I was eating, but like I was eating and cooking all my meals, I knew like everything that I was putting in. I knew how much I was eating of everything. Plus, I had a tracker to like track how much I'm eating, how much like calories I'm putting in my body, how much fat, sugars, and all those kind of macros. And I felt like at a certain point, it gets kind of obsessive to always have a tracker and put your stuff in all the time. It does get tiring once you're like cooking. Like sometimes you're just like, man, I'm really craving this one thing, but like if you're on a keto diet, you're like you can't eat those things because you crash. And then if you're off keto for even like 2 days, like once you come back, you like get the keto flu again, and then you feel like you feel really bad, and then you like the cycle just keeps on repeating because then you're like, oh my god, I don't want to do this anymore, and then you quit, and then you start gaining weight again, and you're like, oh my god, like this is awful, and you go back. So like it's just like if you really want to do like a diet like make sure that you know what you're getting yourself into, especially a keto diet, because a lot of things that you didn't know how to lost sugar them is like things you sometimes wish you had more of. Like a lot of fruits have a ton of sugar in them, and you can't have a lot of those anymore once you're on keto. Sometimes you like wanna like an ice cream once in a while. Like you can't have that unless you like eat a certain brand that has different sugars in them that don't contribute to the count. And it's just like more to worry about. If you like say it's like summer break and you just like want to try something out, like sure, go for that. That's what I did. I thought it was like a pretty enlightening experience because I ended up losing like 23 pounds from that, but it wasn't like I guess easy per se. Like I feel like near the end I kind of just wanted to be like, yo, I just like, is it really worth all this to just like lose a few pounds? But it's up to you if you really want to do it. Yeah, if you have any questions about keto, I can tell you.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah,
Bubble tea is so bad for you. Oh my god.
Yeah. I think that's like something that a lot of people don't know is that sugar is actually really bad for you. Like, it's like fats are definitely not as like not even close to being as bad as like sugar or high fructose corn syrup. Like that's something else you can like look out for when you're like buying things. It's just like what's on the ingredients list. And if it has high fructose corn syrup, like that's really bad for you. And okay, it's not like 20 spoonfuls of sugar, but it's a lot of sugar. It's a
I'd say,
lot.
like 30 grams. Like it's almost like a soda.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Water will be your best friend.
Yes, water is actually like, I don't know. It's like once you're on the water only type of beverage, it's like you start feeling the effects of like having a lot of sugar. Yes, 23 pounds. I went from like 195 or 6 all the way to like 172. So yeah, it's just like, yeah, it's you can lose weight really easily, but like at what cost basically? Some things you can do to if you're like feeling really into like cooking and stuff. Some things you could like save money on is like growing your own vegetables. Something that Alex is doing is growing green onions, and that's like something to like save a little money from like your bill, or just like it's since the green onions are like so versatile and you like could put it into like basically anything that you want to cook at home. It's just like really nice to have like fresh green onions and you're not paying for those, just watering them. So yeah, and you can also do that with basil, rosemary, any like spices, because it does get expensive when you buy fresh spices all the time, and just like being able to like grow it yourself like is way more beneficial in the long run. Yeah, water is good for your skin. I would suggest any of you to try going a whole month with only drinking water, and then like try drinking soda. Like your body will like reject it. You're like, oh my god, like I'm getting jittery, and like you're starting to feel like sugar has a huge effect on you after like you go off the soda for a really long time. And it's just like, yeah, it's just would suggest water. Of course, you can like drink other things like fruit juice. If you are old enough, I guess you could do that. It is not really a vegetable, but it's a plant. You could grow plants. But yeah, I mean, it's legal. It is legal. If you're 21 and you have a permit, I guess it's okay. Milk. Okay, so if you're not lactose intolerant, milk is also really high in fat, and like I guess a lot of people don't think about that when they drink milk, because everyone like drinks milk for calcium, but like you can get calcium from like a lot of other things. Like it doesn't have to be milk. It's just that I guess we always grew up saying like, oh, milk equals calcium.
Not that milk equals you grow taller.
Grow taller, get stronger bones, all those kind of things. And I'm
That's
sure
not true.
like it helps, I'm sure, but like you can always get calcium from other things. I can like search up right now like what other alternative to milk for calcium. I'm sure there's other things that are even more like greater percentage of calcium that you can get than milk. So just the first one, seeds. Like poppy seeds, really high in calcium. Cheese, which is I guess a product of milk, byproduct milk, is really high in calcium also. So like, I guess that doesn't count. Yogurt, yeah, there's also a lot of probiotics in the yogurt because there's actually like living organisms when you're eating them. If that like grossed you out, I'm sorry, but it's true. There's like a lot of things that like soy also really good. Soy is like really common in Asian cooking. Like you can drink soy milk, you have soy sauce. You also have fermented beet curd. It's called tempeh. It's something a lot of East Asian countries use that, especially in Indonesia. They like cut it up and fry it, and there's like so much you can do with those things, and they're so packed with like nutrients. And it's not just milk.
Pasta's done, bro.
What? Oh, the pasta's done. Oh, awesome.
For half of it. Half the pasta.
Okay, so once you're done cooking the pasta, just make sure you drain it out, and then you can always just like cook other pasta, and yeah, you can just. Oh, this is the meat sauce in the end. So as you can see, it's been reduced quite a bit, and you can see a lot of the chunks of meat. You can always taste your food like near the end to like adjust for seasoning, because you don't want a really bland sauce at the very end, because that like ruins the whole thing. Like if you're plating for someone and then someone eats it and they like put their first spoonful and they're like, that was really good, and they like put it away, like don't do that. Like please taste your food and salt it, and like make sure it's like not like overpowering or not like super salty or bland. It's like get into the habit of tasting food like in increments, especially for sauces like near the end. But yeah, that's basically it for this cooking webinar. If there are any other questions,
Feel free to message Kelly.
yeah, you can message Kelly, not me.
Kelly.
Wait, not me.
Kelly.
Yes,
Kelly.
Kelly.
Kelly. She's the master.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. I guess that's it for the cooking webinar. If you have any questions, you could always message me.
Hey, there's a sheet.
Sign up sheet. Oh, is there?
Wait, where's the sign up sheet?
Oh, one moment. Okay, so we're gonna post the sign up sheet in the chat, so to see who was here. You do all get a webinar tag for this event because it's through online, an online way, I guess. Yeah. If you have any other questions, you could. We'll be here on the stream for like the next 15 minutes before we end it, and yeah.
Thanks for joining.
Thank you for being here. Oh, there's the Google form. Of course, no problem. If you have any other questions, Alex cooks a lot more than me, so you can always ask Alex Lee. You can ask me, you can ask anyone here.
I bake a
Yeah.
lot more, so if you need cooking advice, don't go to me. If you need
Baking.
baking advice, you could tell me.
I like occasion.
Oh yeah, if you want to learn how to make fresh pasta, you can request it as a webinar for next time. But yeah,
Yes, please sign it, even though you can wait.
Yes, do it.
yeah. Yeah, that's basically it. Just gonna
Just teleport everything.
ooh. Will
Ooh,
there be-
if y'all request it, ask Kanza. She is in charge of webinars and workshops. So if you beg Kanza, you might be able to get it.
So yeah, if you want to host a webinar or you want to see a webinar happen, you can always ask Kanza, who's on our board. She comes to board meetings and she should be at general meetings. So if you show up to any of those and want to talk to her, yeah. We have a special guest appearance.
Also, you guys should all go to the Woodstocks Meet the Board fundraiser social tomorrow. It's going to be after the board meeting. So our board meeting is from 7 to 8 p.m. at Wellman 7 tomorrow. And then right after at 8 p.m. is going to be our Meet the Board social at Woodstocks. It's going to be from 8 till, okay, the fundraiser part's going to be from 8 to 11. But the social is from 8 to basically whenever we feel like leaving. Yeah. Come out. Support Welcome Week. Thank you.
Valerie wants us to taste the pasta. Make this a mukbang.
Ooh, mukbang. I guess Mr. Solon.
Also, if you want a cheaper way to like not spend so much on milk tea every month, what I do is I go to this Asian supermarket and they have Thai tea leaves. So I get those Thai tea leaves. I just brew my own Thai tea. And that's how you save money. Because all these packets are really like this bag that's like pretty big and you get a lot out of it. It's like around like $5. Yeah. Wait. Okay. Wait, there's shells. Yeah. Thank you.
Should I post some like post too?
Okay, so this is our finished creation. Wow, look at this. We're really making this a mukbang.
Yep.
Okay, so let's mix this all up.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Would really suggest having measuring cups and also like the teaspoon, tablespoon measuring stuff.
It's actually pretty good. We did well.
Who else wants pasta?
I do.
Me.
It's my dinner for today.
Oh man, I'm here.
Why are you here?
Another portion.
I'm doing the mukbang. Wow, there's a
Oh, it's a mukbang now. Okay.
Hello everyone. Today we are eating the pasta that our very own Laughing Lion made.
No.
It's a mukbang
What's pasta next?
I hope I don't get sauce on this laptop.
Does
This
anyone
is
want
the
another
pasta.
portion? I guess it's for me then.
You have cheese?
Ooh. Let me check.
So if anyone
I sent the
wants to come over to FC
Well, we do not have
What
cheese
is
in
this?
the house somehow.
96.
FC 96, there's pasta. We have cheese back at our place. We want to go back and get cheese.
You could.
Oh yeah, the great thing about the pasta, the meat sauce, is that you can also use it for like other things. Like if you want to make lasagna, or you want to make like a baked kind of dish, you can always use the same meat sauce and just add it and just make something else with it. You know, it doesn't have to be just like spaghetti and meat sauce. Liven it up.
Wait, your laptop's not charging. Oh, it is charging. What?
The choice of the shells as the pasta method, very nice choice. Good job, guys. Nice and thick. It gives a good texture in your mouth, you know?
Do you want it?
No.
Anyone else want a portion?
Dude, all those spices they added, oh, so good. So good.
Are you guys leaving?
Bye guys.
Bye.
Bye. Bye chat. You can see it.
Is it John?
Thanks for No, I'm good. You're too much.
What?
You're too much.
It is. If you don't take it, I was like, for like the next few days.
We could take some back to our apartment. It's not like I have any food.
Okay.
We just got like 50 chicken breasts. Oh wait,
You
no,
guys
not
got
yours.
50 chicken breasts. Or chicken thighs.
Wait, do you guys want some cuties?
Oh, I do want some cuties.
At Safeway right now, it's a buy one get one for chicken thighs. So you get 10 pounds of chicken thighs for $10.
Thank you.
So if you're by a Safeway, you should go.
Bye guys.
Bye.
Good
Thanks for
night.
hosting, Max.
Home.
Usually you're the star of the show.
Bye, Valerie. Bye. Hi, Selena.
This is the beginning of Kelly's mukbang career.
No, it's not. I'm a terrible mukbang person.
I think you're bad at talking about food.
I really am. I'm bad with talking in general. Welcome to my mukbang.
Welcome to my bum mug.
Really good. We should make it.
Or we could just have Kelly make it since she knows how to make it. You know?
Mm.
Apparently she can't cut tomatoes or not tomatoes, onions.
I really can.
Can you just try that much?
Yes.
Isn't that meme? That's like the girlfriend is like, babe, I'm sick. She's like texting her boyfriend. She's like, babe, I'm sick. I can't breathe. And then he's like, it's not that hard. Just
Did you guys do
breathe.
the hand thing yet? Did you guys do the hand thing yet?
Yeah, we did.
You
Yeah,
did?
we did.
Okay.
You can do it too if you want.
Oh, okay.
3, 2, 1.
Wait. I got a whole bowl in my hand. I can't do that. I'll put the bowl down.
Oh, wait.
Okay, put the bowl down.
Get like
Just-
sauce. Okay.
Oh
That's why you don't do it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm gonna be like, you see that quality?
Yeah, that's why you don't do that either.
You see that quality?
Leave it there.
I didn't get on the keyboard.
I'm so sorry, man.
Maybe. High quality elbows.
Those are shells. These are shells. These are shells.
They're long elbows. So, yeah, bro. You also want to draw sauce on Matt's laptop?
Oh no.
Drawing sauce on my laptop.
Too much sauce.
Wonder who the 7 people are still here.
Wait, I'm also there. Wow, Christina's still here.
If you guys wanted to know, I bleached my hair today because there's really nothing to talk about again. I re-bleached my hair. Oh, Selena's gonna go die. Bye, Selena.
They were all. They took them out. Oh. Ask them which one they were. Could choose. Which was one of them.
And for those of y'all who are still here, go to CLSSP. Spring CLSSP, Capital Electrical Service Project, February 23rd.
Also, for all y'all that's still here, what color should I dye my hair? You gotta like, comment, and subscribe. Gotta leave it down in the comments. The person who gets the most likes will get to choose my hair color.
To answer your question, Tiffany, I helped bleach Kelly's hair just today.
Yeah. So today we were sitting in my bathroom for close to 3 hours getting it to look like this. And she did a really good job.
I try to be as thorough as possible. I kind of missed some spots, but you know,
It's okay. Nobody can see it.
who's really looking?
Oh, I was like,
But yeah, I'm too cheap to go out and get it done professionally done. So yeah.
She's not like other girls
Or like better yet, come to service the Davis's service marathon on February 9th. We are going to have a scratch the whole choosing the color of my hair thing.
Wow, we should have a screening of board markets. Like to knowing you're bored.
Yeah,
Live stream eating.
like everyone just sends us questions. We answer them.
I don't want more.
They're making more I'm first in line.
She would do that to me too.
Why are we still alive? Can we
So I guess we gotta close the stream. It's nice having
Good
the
night,
last
everyone.
5 people.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Yes, thank you for coming to the webinar. It's been a blast. But yeah,
Tune in for our next Meet the Board live stream hangout. We will be answering your questions while eating some of my I have no idea. It just says wait, someone tuned in.
hello, new
Who
person,
just tuned in?
and goodbye, new person.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna end the live stream. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys next time.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Oh yeah, hit the notification bell. You know, you don't want to miss another one.